All right, today's little project is going to be a homemade spaghetti sauce, roasted, oven roasted. Speaking of, I'm gonna turn the oven on. Go 425. 425 on the old oven. What I have, some tomatoes, the last of the season. There's a couple of, yeah, we may cut that out, we may not. A couple onions, bulb of garlic. I prefer the bags of pre-peeled, but Aldi was out of them, so I guess I get to peel some. This is what I do with the old half tomatoes and the seeds, squishing the seeds and juices into the colander to be collected and used later. I put it in a pan or more. I think that might fit in one pan. And so I'll show you the whole process here and how I process it at the end. So I like to cut the tomatoes this way, across that way, because it's easier to squeeze the seeds out. So I'll show you a couple. So again, once you get them like this, I just take them and squeeze the goop out, so most of the seeds are gone, and then throw them in the pan. So once you do that, then you'll have a pan full, and then we'll get to the next step. All right, so now I'd like to take the old onions here, and then I'll just cut these into half, so eighths, and then I just literally just shove them into the pan. So do that to the other onion, and then get the garlic all mashed up. And then of course my least favorite thing. There you are. Yeah. Not my favorite. So make a mess here. Peel some of these. And by some of them I mean all of them. So I don't think there's any reason to keep you along for this. Oh boy. Yeah, this is going to take a while. Yeah, I'll bring it back when this is done. Okay, that took entirely too long. What a mess. Alright. So now, I'll just take my little pile of garlic here. And you can see kind of how I just shoved onions down in there. So I do the same thing with the garlic. Just shove the old garlic down in there. That may seem like too much, and probably is, but once we freeze it and then use it, the garlic definitely tones down. Like if you're going to use it right away from processing straight to using it, the garlic will be very strong. But we have found that as you freeze it and then get it back out, it definitely calms down some. So at this point, we've got to get the juice shoved through the colander, and I've got to get a few other things out. Oh, got to go pick some basil outside. So I'll show you that as well, but hold on for now. All right, a couple other things we use is olive oil, the old balsamic vinegar, balsamic glaze, and some tomato paste. But right now we just kind of press the juice through the colander, and that's going to be added over our stuff here. Depending on how thick of a sauce you want, you may not want to use all of the juice. It also depends on what kind of tomatoes you use and how much liquid they have in them, or how long you let them roast in the oven. That'll cook off some of the liquid as well. So all of that's the preference. Enough. Right now, let's show you the old basil. The old basil's been out here. I planted it late. Didn't plant it till maybe I'm thinking July. Yeah, I should have planted it in spring. But this one was picked all the way down to nothing. There was nothing left, no leaves. And obviously it's come back, and that was just I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. So this is my last batch, so I'm just going to grab as much as I possibly can. Fresh basil is great on the sauce. So I literally just pull leaves. I think it's impossible to have too much basil. So, but again, some people maybe aren't all that fond of it. I don't know how that's possible, but put whatever you like. If you prefer oregano, then put fresh oregano in it, or just use dried. I've done that before as well. If I don't have fresh basil, I just put a bunch of dried, either Italian seasoning or specifically oregano and basil. Totally up to you. But this is the absolute best pasta sauce you will ever have. It will be difficult to go back to store-bought once you have this. I think I'm dropping as much as I'm picking. There's just so much good stuff here. Alright, so there is my basil. Oh, maybe I could get you in the picture. And I just kind of shoved that down in there. I don't like it getting all burnt on top. So I try to shove it down in there so it stays a little more moist. It doesn't get all dried. Putting the olive oil also will help with that. Well, I tell you what, I can't do 2 things at once. And it'll be good. All right, so first thing I do is take the old juice here and pour it. Like I said, depending on how much you have juice-wise and how long you're going to let it roast, you may not want to use all of that. And then we have the olive oil. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to put the old salt and pepper on it. The old grinder. I usually just use a salt shaker to that's probably enough. And oh boy. Can I do this while holding the camera? I doubt it. You'll have to take my word for it. I'm putting pepper on it. All right, plenty of black pepper. Then I take the old olive oil drizzle olive oil on top. I don't know how much, about that much. Then get it in the old oven for about, again, 425, I'd say for about hour and 15, hour and 20 would be good. Or until it's nice and golden, you get some caramelization going on. All right, out of the oven. It was in there about hour and 15 or so. Nice and caramelized. It's cooled down some now. I have 2 half-gallon containers because I feel like that pan might not fit in one. I would use a gallon container, which I've done before, but then the stick blender has a hard time not getting buried in there. So I may have to bust this up into two separate. Oh boy, how about we do this? Uh-oh, I gotta find my spoon. So I'll just scoop out. Like so. And we run out of room. Looks like I'm going to have to stick blend a little and then split it. Okay, now add a can of tomato paste to each batch. And let's see. Each of these, again, is going to get 1 can of tomato paste, a tablespoon of balsamic, tablespoon of glaze, and then we bag it. So that's what's next. Stick them again. And there you have it. Now the thing about it is you can adjust it and change it to whatever you prefer, but it is a very, very good spaghetti sauce. So if you don't like balsamic or glaze, then I suppose don't use it. Put whatever in there you like, but in terms of the roasted flavor, it is fantastic. Oh, do I see an onion stuck to the side? Oh, that's terrible. Well, and if you like it a little more chunky of a sauce, you could certainly do that. We've also done things like added carrots or zucchini instead of just tomatoes and onion and garlic. All right, so next I'll show you how I package it. Now, I've never canned it. I just freeze it in quart bags. So I'll show you that. I like to keep the bags fairly consistent. Come on, scale. So I like to have it sitting on a scale for myself, and like a typical 24-ounce sauce jar, I like to put a little bit more than that, maybe a pound and 10 or 11 ounces. And that works perfectly in a quart bag. You can actually sit it in a measuring cup like this, fold the top down, and it's really easy to fill. So I will show you that, and we'll be on our way. Just take the bag, fold the lock edge down like so, and then just sit it right down in that measuring cup. Oh, 0.2 ounces. I better zero it again. Oh, come on. And you just start pouring your sauce in. Right about 1 pound, 10.5 ounces or so. Pull that up out of there. This is also why I like to let it cool a little bit before I start this, because it can be a little hot in the old bag. And I just try to get all the air out that I can before I lock it. And then you can just either lay them flat in the freezer, you can sit them up, like however you want to position them, and then move them around once they become a little solid block. But that's how we do it. So it is a fantastic sauce. Makes great use of all your garden tomatoes or other vegetables as well. So you got to try it. I'm telling you, it's fantastic. I think that's all I need to show you. Package it, freeze it, use it. Try it out.